Hi everybody, we are trying this video thing again. I thought it went really well last time. It was easier. Well, I don't know if it was that much easier, but well, yeah, it is easier. When I'm typing, I have to think and I have to edit what I'm saying and I have to make sure it doesn't sound completely rambly. And when I'm speaking, I'm a little less strict about it. I'm a little more rambly, and I hope you guys are enjoying that because I'm enjoying it and I may be doing newsletters like this from now on. So let's get into it. I will start with our May update. Usually in our newsletters, we do have an update for the previous month. So in May, what did I focus on? I worked on, instead of working on my novel, Scourge of the Lilitu, I have decided to just kind of go where the muse takes me. So in May, I wrote multiple songs. I think I wrote like 3 or 4 songs. And I also focused on a deck of oracle cards that will be coming to my Etsy shop, Maiden's Playground, in just a few weeks. They should be available at the very latest by the beginning of July. So I will have a new deck up there, and that's what I completed in just actually I completed that just like last week, but I started it and was really focusing on it and hope to have it finished in May. So I got a lot of leeway on that, got almost done, and then finished it this month. And then I also was focusing at the same time on working on my online course, which is on Udemy at this moment. I have 2 courses on Udemy for my Maiden Circle Coven Path thing. Go ahead and look that up. I think I have a link somewhere in this email. But the first course is Intro to Wicca. The second course is about the feminine divine. And this one is about the history of the witch in general, how society has reacted to a person who is considered a witch, who they consider a witch, or who considers themselves a witch, whatever it has been over time. We are looking into that in that course. And so that's what I spent May working on. And that should be available, hopefully, by this weekend. So that's really exciting. I'm really, that this has been a few months. Well, the project itself, Maiden Circle, I started in 2014, as a lot of you know. It is now Maiden Circle Publishing, and it is Maiden Circle Academy, and it is Maiden Circle Coven. And this this project, like I said, I have been doing since 2014. This particular part of it has been a few months. It's taken a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of um, adjusting, and I had help with this one. The first 2 I did all on my own, and this one I hired someone to help me with some of the heavy work so that I could focus also on the cards and on some other things. So that is what we did in May, and like I said, that will hopefully be launching this weekend. It wasn't all witchy things. I did do a little bit of writing centric work. So I started outlining a short story for another anthology that we're going to be doing in October. We're doing a horror anthology called The Voices of Horror. It's going to be me and a few other authors. Like I said last time, I'm pretty sure we have 4 or 5 more authors who are interested than we had in the last one, if they all actually come through, which, fingers crossed. I mean, life happens, people get busy, people forget. This is months away, but hopefully we'll all get our stories in, and we'll have an even bigger anthology for you in October. And so I spent some of May outlining my story for that, which I am currently calling Chew. And maybe you'll hear more about that a little bit in the future when it is more fleshed out. But right now, it is really just in the bare outlining stages, and the actual story outline that I tend to use, because my process is generally framework and then specific outline and then bulletproof outline that's like beat by beat or whatever. Not bulletproof, bullet outline. It's like beat by beat, and then I'm writing the story. And sometimes that's exhausting, but it helps me a lot to stay on track. And that is when I really know what the story is about. So you'll probably hear more about that in the coming months. I do hope to have the first draft finished by the end of July, and then let that rest for about a month while I work on Scourge throughout August. But that's for another newsletter. So Scourge of the Lilitu is still in process. I simply haven't been giving it as much energy as I'm giving these other projects. I think there's a lot that still needs to kind of mull over in this head of mine, and it's stuff that I just haven't really written down. But there's a lot of time where I spend thinking about my characters and thinking about their motivations and thinking about what is not only going to tell the story that needs to be told, but what is going to express each of these characters' core in the way that I need it to be expressed. Like, what's going to make them important? What's going to make their story important in this very fluffy, unimportant story? Because it is kind of an adventure story. It's a fun, wild story, but it isn't, it's not Ulysses. It's not Baudelaire, you know, it's nobody that you would consider, it's nothing classic. It's just this fun story. But I still want it to have very, like, something that's very important to me in it. Oh, the lighting has changed. I'm actually kind of blind now. The sun has been in my face for a long time, and I was trying to wait until it moved, and it was getting late, and I didn't want it to get dark all of a sudden, and I just lose the light. So here we are. I'll share with you one personal goal that is not writing or craft related or work related. I love all my writing and all my craft. These are more than just work for me, but I do have other hobbies outside of writing and outside of writing related things. And so one of the things I want to do in June is make a pair of shorts, or yeah, June. The month's almost over, so maybe July. But I'd like to make a pair of lounge shorts just so that I can practice my sewing and so that I can have them and wear some nice shorts around the house. When I'm in the mood, I'd like to be able to wear shorts, and I don't have any. So I'm gonna make myself a pair, and I'll let you guys know how that turns out on Instagram and or Twitter, where you should be following me. If you want some real-time ridiculousness, go to Twitter. I am at @VWilder_author, and on Instagram at authorVWilder. It's all one word. Find me there, and you will probably see my shorts. So that's all I have for you all this month. Thank you again, always, so much for being here with me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words on Twitter and Instagram. That's where I talk to most of you guys, most people who know anything about who I am. So thank you. Thank you for your support, and thank you for being so kind and so wonderful out there in this time when the world is very dark. Thank you for bringing light into it. Scroll down to the bottom for recommended reading. We have a new fiction, new to me, maybe new to you, fiction, and a new nonfiction book every single month in every newsletter. So go down and check that out. And if you'd like to see the recommended reads from previous months, you can find that on my website, VWilder@home, all one word, no spaces, no nothing. Go on and read all them books, and then tell me about some of them, because I haven't read all of them. I'm transparent about that. Go down, check the recommended reads. You know, if I haven't read a book, I will say that I haven't read a book. And see if you find something that you fancy. And again, find me on Twitter and join me on Patreon. Patreon is super important, because if you join me on Patreon, you are not only helping make all of these stories and all of these creations come true, but you'll also be able to get a bunch of free stuff, and you'll be able to see and read the first 12 or so chapters of my novel Diva, which I personally love. And you will also be able to, if you are at a certain tier, you will get a story written about you. You can get free ebooks, free downloads, things like that for the rest of your time as a patron. The higher your tier, the more stuff you get, the more cool the stuff that you get becomes, and the more I'm able to give you. So, and I love giving. I love giving things to people. I love sharing my work and sharing what's important to me and sharing what's important with other people. I love to give and to share. So give me that opportunity on Patreon. And until next month, I love you. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate all the time you've given me. And take care. I burped.